Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to build one of the best gunpowder farms that you can build in your Minecraft survival world. This farm works so well, just like our sponsor, Shockbyte. Shockbyte is an affordable server hosting service that you can use to make servers for you and your friends. Prices start from $2.50 in the US or £2.05 in Europe. And using the code SALMONUP at checkout will get you 25% off your first month, while also supporting me. I use them for my own server, HavenMC, and I can give the Salmon Up seal of approval. They're really fantastic. So use the link in the description and go and get your own Shockbyte server today. So for this farm, everything that you'll need is on the screen right now. I also have them all in my inventory unstacked, but you can see the precise numbers up on screen. This farm fits inside of a box that's 19 by 19, so the maximum width of the actual farm is 17 blocks across. And the way that you want to start this farm off is grab your chest and place it in the front middle part of wherever you're building, and then come behind it with two hoppers facing into that chest. The way that we kill the creepers is we're going to be placing soul sand with wither roses on top of it to kill the creepers. So the creepers are going to run away from the cats and they fall on the wither roses, die, and their drops go through the soul sand into the hoppers because of soul sand being just smaller than a block. The hoppers can actually pick items up through it, and it goes into the hoppers and then comes into your chest. Of course, you can expand the storage system as much as you want, but we're just going to have one chest here for now. You then want to come behind the soul sand and grab one of your normal blocks. Now, this could be any spawnable block for creepers. It works either way. Come behind the soul sand, place a block there, and then two up with a trapdoor on the side. So from a cross section, it looks just like this, and then come in front of the soul sand like this and place a slab on the top half of the soul sand block with some tinted glass on top. If you don't want to use tinted glass, you can just use a solid block. It doesn't have to be tinted glass, as tinted glass can get quite expensive, but if you do have the amethysts to do it, I'd recommend using it because then you can see through and see into the farm, but solid blocks work just fine. You then want to come up to the top block and we're going to build the first spawning platform. So you want to come up 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks behind it, and then you want a 5th block and you want to come off 1 block on each side. This is where your cat is going to sit and scare away the creepers. You can then build off 4 blocks from each of these, and then this marks out the main area of the spawning platform. What you then want to do is build out an extra few blocks on each side with 1 connecting block like this. So as you can see, you have the center block and then 3, and then you bring it along with the diagonal and then connect it back up again. And you want to do this on all of the sides, and this will make the spawning platform for creepers on the first level. Great job. So now you have built that platform. What you want to do then is come along and build 1 block underneath all of the blocks on the perimeter. Remember, for this step, you want to be using some sort of full block that mobs can actually spawn on. If you use glass for this or glowstone for this, glowstone won't work because mobs won't be able to spawn on it. But if you use a block that isn't a solid block like this, then the creepers won't be able to spawn. You want to make sure that it is the right block. Then grab your hoppers and come underneath, and what you want to do is build out sort of 2 blocks away from this layer here. I always recommend doing the hoppers first just so you can place in the soul sand later. That might make it a bit easier. Then you want to build out 4 from the 2 hoppers you put in at the start. Then finish this little square here, so bring it in a ring like this. Then another 4 like this on the corner. And then you want to build it all the way down to the end like so, and then come back to the end and add an extra one there like so, and bring that all the way down again. Bring it out an extra block and then come in with the corner building again like so, and then you want to build it to the center. As you can see, this is the center block. You can build it in there, and then of course come back here and do the same thing again and leave out 1 little corner like this, because we're going to go back onto the other side and build this sort of thing flipped with it crossing over here. As you can see, this is the layout of the hoppers. It doesn't matter which hoppers you point each one into, as long as they're all pointing to a hopper that will get to the end. Then you want to come to this side and do the same thing for the other side. Build the hoppers just like this. Build them all the way back around to the end. and then connect them into the sort of circle like so. As you can see, there's always 2 blocks from each edge, which is enough to accommodate the creepers that are going to be running off. You then grab your soul sand and cover all of the hoppers in that soul sand, and then once you've placed in the soul sand above each of the hoppers as well, you then want to come back and place in wither roses on top of each of the soul sand. Using soul speed might help with this step, as it can help you place in the soul sand a little bit faster, or at least it'll speed you up when you're walking on the soul sand. And then of course, when you're placing in the wither roses, make sure you're not standing on them, because they will give you the withering effect and you don't want to die while building this farm. So place the rest of these in and we can move on to the next step. Nice work. Now you have all of them placed in. Come and grab your slabs. Again, these can be any sorts of slabs, and build a perimeter around the edge of the soul sand. Make sure to use soul sand as well, not soul soil, as soul soil doesn't allow blocks to go through it and soul sand does. Then once you've done that, you can grab your trapdoors again. These can be any sorts of wooden trapdoors. Don't use iron trapdoors, wooden trapdoors, and place them on the block at the edge. And what this does is it tricks the creepers into thinking there's an extra block there which they can run over to escape the cat, and they just fall off and fall into the wither roses. Once you've built the perimeter of trapdoors, you want to find the central block again, and you want to build 4 trapdoors around the edges. You can close these up, but make sure to keep them open, as it allows the creepers to actually see the cat and get scared of them. You then want to grab your carpet. This can be any sort of carpet, and place the first piece 2 blocks away from the trapdoor. Do this on all 4 of the sides, like so. So as you can see, there's trapdoor, 2 block gap, and then another carpet. And then diagonally from the 2 pieces of carpet, place one in the middle. So you can see there's a carpet, then diagonally there's nothing, then there's a carpet, and you can also see the carpet lines up diagonally with this bit here, and do that on all 4 sides as well. So you got a cool diamond shaped thing now. And then grab your last few pieces of carpet and place them in all of the corners around the edges, like so. So as you can see, the carpet is in this formation. You can pause the screen here to copy it. It might be a little bit easier, but you want to do this for every level that we're going to build. I'm leaving out the tinted glass for now, but you can add that in whenever you would like. I'm going to do the first 2 blocks of it now before we get to the second layer. So to get started on the next layer, grab your full blocks and build up 3 blocks from the central column. Then break the 2 supporting blocks, and then what you want to do is copy this first layer's format onto the next layer. This is going to be your second spawning platform for the creepers. And once you've built the bare platform on this level, what you want to do is, before you do anything else, return to the underside of that platform. And you want to place in, again, your wooden trapdoors on the top side of the roof. You might have to crouch for this, just because it gets a little bit difficult with all the carpet, as you're just too small to squeeze in between the layers, or at least I am, because I am absolutely massive. But this is where all the trapdoors come in, as you need so many to build the different layers. Once you've completely filled in the roof, you can return to the next layer and copy everything that has been built down below, starting with the trapdoors, the carpets, and then remember the trapdoors on the outside of the platform. And then once you've built this layer here, copy that 3 more times up above. So use the same technique as you did for this platform and do it 3 more times up into the air. This will produce all of the platforms for the creepers on the different levels. I might actually recommend putting the trapdoors before you put in any of the carpet below, just as that you won't have to worry about crouching for each of the different levels, and it might speed up the process of building it just a tad. Great work. And now that you've copied that same level to all of the different levels, you should be left with something like this. Now might be a good time to get the cats in before there's any sort of space for creepers to start spawning. Now, you could either get yourself a collection of robot cats. What I'd recommend doing to get the cats up here is flip up one of the trapdoors like this, and then build yourself a little staircase all the way down to the ground. And then, for instance, let's get this guy into the first layer. You can then run up here, and they should follow you along into the center. You can see this little guy coming along. Hey, buddy. And then once they sort of get to where you want them to be, just push them into the center. Make sure to crouch so you can actually get under here. And then once they're in the center, that level is good to go. You could then come back here, break that. You can build another staircase up to the next level, and then make sure to do that for all of your 5 different levels. You'll need 5 cats to do this. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all in the center of the trapdoors here. Once you've got all 5 cats in place, you can then come back and build up the walls all the way to the top, plus an extra 1, 2 blocks. Now this is because we're going to add an extra slab layer on top, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's just build up this tinted glass layer to 2 blocks above this one. Great job. So now that you have built the tinted glass around, it's time to put a roof on this thing. So what I'd recommend doing is first coming up to the center, grabbing your slabs and building up 2 blocks. And then what you want to do is first build another roof that is the same size as the platforms that you'd be building. Now I'm doing this because remember, you want to put trapdoors on the underside of this again, and I always want you guys to be as safe as possible, and you guys don't want any creepers spawning in here before you've even gotten out, so I recommend doing this before putting the rest of the roof on. So remember, grab your trapdoors, put that layer of trapdoors under your newly built roof. Remember, don't knock your cat out. Try and keep them in the center if you can. And finish that off, and then we can get to finishing this farm off. Great work. So now that you have finished building that layer of trapdoors there, you can then come and finish the rest of the slab roof. Now the slab roof just stops mobs from spawning on top of the farm. And you may also be wondering, Sam, why are you using carpet on the inside of the farm? Now we're using carpet here to stop spiders from spawning inside it. You can also use fence posts, but carpet is so much better just because it's so much easier for the creepers to get over them. And then you can see as soon as I place in that last block, the whole thing becomes shrouded in darkness, and this farm should be ready to go. Now to get this farm started, you have to be a minimum of 24 blocks away. You can't be like a little kid asking someone if they've got games on their phones. You have to be 24 blocks away minimum, and once that roof is on, that should be the farm done. So what you want to do is make sure that you are actually in hard mode for this, or oh wow, we've already got a creeper spawn. You need to be a minimum of 24 blocks away. Remember, as you can see, these guys will start running away from the cats, yeeting themselves off the side. Some of them are a little bit stubborn and get stuck on the trapdoors, but most of them will run away and fall off, falling down into the farm. You can see them all getting killed at the bottom here, and then once they die, their drops will go into the chest at the bottom, and you'll have gunpowder for days. Once you've built this farm, that should be the last... Oh my goodness, look at it work. Once you've built this farm, this should be the last creeper farm you will ever need. Of course, you can make it taller if you want to, but I tested the taller one against the shorter one, and the shorter one actually produced more gunpowder. So I'd recommend building it at this size. If you want to know how much gunpowder an hour this farm produces, you can find that out in the description, because I'm going to edit this video and let this farm run in the background, and I'm going to check on it in an hour. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel out, especially if you put on notifications. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it as well. Really helps the channel out, and make sure to comment any more videos that you want to see from me in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to check out Shockbite for all of your amazing server needs. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!